And we're back. Now, I already showed you this about the search panel. One thing I didn't show you was that it's kind of subdivided. There's nothing in settings, but we have, it's still a search box, but it's kind of like the easiest way to get to things that you may or may not be looking for. But let me get back out of this here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go back to the Start menu. I'm going to go ahead and start Server Manager. I'm going to reopen again. And I'm going to add a role because I just noticed something. This server is currently configured as a workgroup server. And how do we know that? Well, all we got to do is look. We can see it's workgroup. There's no AD. There's nothing here. And you know what else isn't there? Oh, gee, well, what about group policy? Huh? What about that? Let's see. Let's look in admin tools. I don't see group policy manager. I see local security policy. That's pretty much par for the course. Let's look at that. Wow, that looks just like Windows 2003 actually. You know, local policies, account policies. Software, we got a couple of other, but the fact is this isn't an AD box, so we don't really have per se group policy. All I can do is basically the local policy, which just controls this particular server. So we got to fix that, don't we? Well, then what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to add a role. So probably the easiest way is just to go from Server Manager and add a role right here. Now we could also do it again. You know, if we're feeling a little more, you know, brave, we could just go to all servers and we could right click here and we could add a role that way too in the feature menu. In fact, that's how we'll start. We'll add a role. And there's the wizard. Again, very much like Server 08. We'll go next. And we got our different, if we're doing this on the server, we're going to use this. If we're doing virtual desktop or VDI, then we'd be choosing an option, but we're doing this local. So we'll click next. We'll pick our server. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to pick our role. Now, first thing is, we know we don't have AD in the list here. It's not checked. We've got hybrid, but we got no AD. Well, that's not quite right. Now, I'm not going to get into LDAP or the rights man, all that stuff. Most of the time, it's never used, not in the installed deployments I've seen. But we do want AD. So we're going to go ahead and we'll click that checkbox. And you see there's a bunch of other supporting dependencies there. Include management, yeah, definitely. Of course, we could clear that and just put it on there and just have absolutely no control over anything, which would just be so much fun. I know that by default, because it's not a DNS server right now, it'll add it, but I'm going to go ahead and check it anyway just to be sure. Yes, add those features. Okay, so that's all I want right now. You don't need the remote access or anything like that. Okay, and we see the stuff that's grayed out is either already installed or is going to be installed by default. We don't need 3.5, we only need 4.5 for .NET. So we'll go there and read the verbiage, and it's very nice and okay. Yes, yeah. And destination, well, it's going to restore it anyway. So, okay, let's start the install. And here we go. We get the little box here, and it's going to start doing its thing. So, and if it takes too long, I'm just going to kind of cut here and let it do its thing. But we're seeing here, we've got the install going on. And I don't, again, when doing AD and that kind of, I really don't suggest doing anything else. Oh, and the other nice feature, which is, okay, I know it's kind of a throwback and kind of old school, but it's kind of nice that all the install files are installed when you install the server so that you don't have to go grab disks, because that was always annoying to me. But, you know, what can I say? No, we're not doomed. So, here we go. I don't know how long this is going to take. Okay, so it says it's installed. Configuration needed. Okay, we'll close that. And we see we have something in the notification bar. Alrighty. Now, installing AED doesn't automatically make a server a domain controller. This is a little different. This is a lot like, basically you have an AD client installed right now. So if you have an existing AD domain, you could basically put this thing right in there and not worry about it fighting with your current domain controllers. Most of the time when I did AD installs on 03 and 08, it put it in as a DC, and it asked me right up front, do I want the domain? Well, this is a separate process now. So we're going to go ahead and do a promotion. And by the way, DC promo doesn't work anymore, so this is pretty much how you're going to have to do it. Let's see, and you see the first option, add to an existing, because it figures that you're putting it into an existing AD infrastructure, but you're not. We're going to make a new forest. And we'll call it 2012 test domain. Mostly because I'm not really going to try to join anything to this. But, okay, we'll go next. We have an issue. And this is nice context-sensitive help. Okay, that wasn't enough for it. Let's try this. There we go. It wanted a fully qualified. So we can't get away with the old net bias conventions anymore. Okay, functional level. Since this is 2012 and it's going to be the only server in its own domain, I'm not going to worry about it. But I could set it to anything from 03 to some flavor of 08. Same with functional levels. If I set it to say R2, this may change. Yes, it did. So, but I'm going to set the forest to 2012, which is going to lock out some features in any AD controller. So keep that in mind. If you're going to keep your 2008 R2 servers around for a while and add it to 2012, keep that in mind when you're doing the install. You're going to have to make sure you pick the right functional and forest level. Well, you probably won't have to worry about forest level if you're going to an AD domain because, well, you're not making a new forest in that case. But if you are, such as what I'm doing, that's fine. Now, let's see here. If I wanted to say later on, add one of these older servers to the domain, it would probably behoove me to figure out what is the lowest level that I will ever consider running this domain at and set it to that at the outset. But for our cases, we're going to keep everything at 2012. Okay, I'm going to set a super secret domain restore mode password here, which anybody who's ever had to restore a domain controller knows what that's all about. I'm setting the super secret password here. I don't think I typed that right, so there we go. There, it's happy with it. We'll go there. All right. And this is the DNS thing. So it can't find something because the DNS server doesn't really exist yet and doesn't really know about AD. It's still got to be kind of configured that way. So it's working. Okay. There we go. See, that's okay without the gym test on that because it's NetBIOS, and NetBIOS doesn't know anything about FQDNs. So here we go. Next. Dum-de-dum. Okay, yeah, we like where all those things are. That's fine, wonderful. Of course, you could change it if you wanted to, but we're not going to. We can view the script. This is kind of neat. If we view the script, what we can see here is we can actually save this script and use it for other domain controllers with the PowerShell script. So, you know, if you have a bunch of servers to do, you can just take these settings and go from there. So that's kind of cool. I like that. Anyway, we're not going to do it that way. And the install is going ahead. And remember, what we're doing now is we're installing Active Directory on Server 2012. We're going from Workgroup to Active Directory. Okay. It's got some warnings. Yeah, most of this is because DNS isn't there. And let's see, what is this one? Default for ideal setting to allow. Okay, so security, okay, whatever. Like any AD controller that's never going to see the internet is going to have to worry about that, but okay, best practices. All right, you see this, you click install, it reboots at the end of the promotion, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And it's going to complain again, but I don't care. So here we go. No, we're not doomed. It's all fine.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
I'm sure it will. Yes. And it's screaming about DNS, of course. That's because our DNS server isn't quite set up yet. In fact, it should, like most AD installs, have done it on its own. Oh, there you go. See your, basically your LDAP information here. Ah, gross. This is all very exciting, I know. Uh-oh, I'm being signed off. You know why? Because the server's going to restart. Okay, we'll see what happens when it comes back. So we restarted. Now, funny thing is, we actually have something to look at here. You see, look, in our Server Manager dashboard, we have a problem. We also have some new little applets here showing us stuff that's going on. See, we have directory services here. We have DNS. But we also have some problems here. Look at that. Now, local server, all servers, you know, that's pretty much the superset of everything. But remote desktop, that's the one having a problem. So you see, well, what's the problem? Just click on it. And you see we actually have something to look at. Delayed start, remote desktop management, okay. And I can go there. I can actually go to the service by clicking. And we can see that, okay, there was a problem. And this is basically the event viewer. This has a lot more to do with the licensing than anything else. That and the fact that I went from workgroup to an AD domain. So, oh, and look at that. We actually have some performance counter data here. 0.24 to 0.93. We're not taxing this too hard, but you can see we got the start of some performance data. So kind of everything in a view here. Not too concerned about the red marks. So anyway, so now looking at our server manager, guess what? We've got AD, and just like I promised, look, we have new things. Just like we had them here, we have new things in the list to deal with. Remember, we only had file and storage, Hyper-V, and IIS before. Now we've got DNS. See, we look at DNS here. So you can see that. We have some issues here. Same thing. And we have AD, directory services. And then we have that to look at here. So you see, every time you add something, it's going to add an entry in this column here, and you'll be able to just go straight to it. Now, remember, I was complaining about the lack of group policy. Where's my group policy? Well, I'm also going to kill two birds with one stone here. You know, we can go here and open up our settings and go here and see that. Or if we want to go straight to the tiles, go to this left corner. Oh, look at that. There's a little start window. Click that. We're in the tiles. Hey, isn't that exciting? And you see that all of a sudden we've got some new apps here. We have Administrative Center. We have Sites and Services. Oh, look, there's Group Policy Manager. What does that open? Let's click that, and there you see. Oh, goody. We can set our group policy now. And this is basically the GPMC. So let's look at their sites here. No sites, but we have domain. Okay, whatever. And it's pretty much the same group policy management console that we're used to. So let's see what we have here. Default domain controller policy. Yes, let's look at the settings. Let's see the report and what the effective reports are, and we'll show it all. Anyway, anybody who's dealt with GPMC, this is familiar. Nothing's really changed here. So, yeah, and let's look at the default domain policy. Yes, yes. Look at the details. Okay. So it's linked to it. Okay, so basically there's our group policy manager, just like the past two versions of Windows. Well, the other thing you might want to notice is if you have to do this over a remote connection, because I just ran into this, if you do a remote desktop or anything that's been connected to the server in workgroup mode, don't forget that you're going to have to do the domain / username now. In this case, it was server 2012 test domain / So it just got a whole lot more complicated, but it's a stupid little thing, but just remember it because it's the stupid stuff that always trips you up. So let's see what we can do here. Oh, look at this. If we right-click on the server 2012 now in ADDS, look at all the nifty stuff we can do. We can DC diag, we look at the access controls, DNS management, all this good stuff. Group policy fix-up, that's interesting. But let's look at the Administrative Center. Okay, this is basically derived from Server Manager, obviously. Okay, so we're in the Active Directory Administrative Center, and the overview is basically where we're starting. And if you learn more, this is all help sections. You could change a user name real quick here if we wanted to. Where the guts of it really come into it is all of the little AD modifiers and configuration tools here that are in one place. I don't know, it's kind of a kiosk kind of view of things, and I don't know how wild I am about that, but I guess it works better for the wizard type views. Right click here and with the properties. Here you can see the properties. You can see that we are in a domain controller, global catalog, there's a DNS, MEFQDN, OS, so. And this is the same kind of information you get if you pulled up, say, a computer in your domain. So, and you can see all the goodies. So there's your AD management stuff. Dynamic access control, I really haven't done anything with. I'll be straight up with you there, so. But this is, you know, kind of a quick and dirty view of managing some AD management. Let's look at DNS. With the DNS applet in the Server Manager. Open the DNS Manager, and it pretty much looks like DNS has always looked. So we'll open this, look at our logs, view, and look at that, just like the advanced settings are there. Without the advanced settings, there's a lot of things we don't see. Like, for example, our AD zones. So here we are, the servers in there, the reverse zones. Just once. Okay, so we've got a trust point there. There's the cache lookups. So there's a lot of new functionality. This is where things look a little different. I can see there's a little more underlying here. Looks like they're trying to secure every bit on the network, so okay, that's fine. So understand that there's a lot of stuff that's going to transfer 2012, but for some things I think there may be a few classes in your future. But anyway, we can see what's going on here. Let's see, what do we want to do? Let's go back to our tile menu here, and I'm going different ways just to get you comfortable with it. Let's look at sites and services. So AD tools, and that's going to come up here. And do notice that everything's launching on the desktop. There's subnets. Yep. Let's see that. That. So. Yep, that isn't too different from 2008 R2, so. Okay, so anyway, this probably wasn't as informative as I'd like it to be, at least this part of the video, but at least you kind of see what's going on here and what you're in for. So that pretty much does it for this series of videos. I think I'll do a little something on Hyper-V since I have that coming up, but that's not going to be in this video. Mostly that's going to be kind of a comparison between that and VMware. So anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope this was somewhat enlightening. I'm no Microsoft certified anything right now, so take it for what it's worth. But hey, thanks for watching anyway. I'm out.